Chosen one, listen closely. What if I told you the struggle you faced wasn't punishment, but preparation? That every delay, rejection, and closed door was a divine setup for the greatest outpouring of wealth you've ever known. Stay with me, because the heavens have already released what's yours. There's a reason you clicked on this video. Something inside of you, deep within your spirit, already knows that you're not like everyone else. You've never fit in. You've been overlooked, underestimated, and even misunderstood. But here's the truth. You were never meant to blend in. You've been set apart, chosen, marked. And now, the mark of divine wealth is being activated over your life. The pain, the trials, the losses, they weren't random. They were precise. They were strategic. You've been tested like gold in the fire, refined through adversity so that when the blessing comes, you'll know how to carry it. Because what's coming is not ordinary. What's coming to you will shake your bloodline. It will shift generations. Your name is about to be written in places it's never been mentioned before. You've carried burdens in silence. You've cried behind closed doors. You've smiled while silently breaking. But still, you didn't give up. Still, you prayed. Still, you believed. And that's why the heavens took notice. That's why divine wealth is being released with your name on it. Because you stayed faithful even when you were tired, even when no one was watching, even when it felt like nothing was changing. But here's what most don't understand. Divine wealth isn't just about money. It's about influence, alignment, purpose, and peace. It's about stepping into rooms that your qualifications can't explain. It's about living under an open heaven, where things begin to happen for you that defy logic. When you're marked for divine wealth, favor follows you. Opportunities chase you down. Doors open that others have knocked on for years. And this isn't just something that might happen for you. No, this is already set in motion. You didn't find this message by chance. You were led here, called to hear this word, because something in the spirit realm has shifted. The heavens have declared it. The delay is over. The drought is ending. And you, yes, you, are stepping into divine overflow. You were chosen before you were born, marked before you took your first breath. The enemy saw it, and that's why he tried to destroy you early. That's why you faced so much hardship. He wasn't attacking where you are. He was attacking where you're going. Because even he could sense the wealth on your life, the abundance in your destiny. He saw the blueprint in your spirit before you even knew who you were. But what he failed to realize is that every attack only made you stronger. Every betrayal made you wiser. Every delay made you more patient. And now you are positioned like never before. Positioned to receive, positioned to expand, positioned to rule and reign in the territory God has carved out for you. This is your confirmation. This is your divine alert. The wealth of heaven is flowing toward you now. It's coming in ways you couldn't plan, through people you haven't met, from places you didn't expect. Some of you will receive unexpected phone calls. Some will get offers out of nowhere. Others will watch debts get canceled. Doors that were locked will suddenly fly open. But it won't be random. It will be divine. This is what happens when you're marked. When the hand of God is on you, things shift. Timelines collapse. Acceleration takes over. You may have waited years, but in a single moment, everything can change. That moment is coming, and for some, it's already here. But understand this. Divine wealth requires divine mindset. You cannot step into a new season with an old mind. You must begin to see yourself the way heaven sees you. You are royalty. You are the lender, not the borrower. You are the head, not the tail. You are above, not beneath. Speak it. Declare it. Live like it's already done. Because faith is not just believing. It's walking as if the promise has already arrived. This isn't the time to shrink back. This isn't the time to doubt. This is the time to rise. The time to walk boldly. The time to align your life with what you've been praying for. Because divine wealth is not just handed to anyone. It's released to those who are ready to steward it. Are you ready? You can't carry this kind of wealth with bitterness in your heart. You can't walk in overflow with a poverty mindset. This is your invitation to rise higher, to forgive faster, to speak life louder, to clean the slate, open your hands, and say, I'm ready, because you've been marked. And no force on earth can unmark what God has sealed. Do you feel it? That stirring in your spirit, that fire rising inside you. That's not just emotion, it's confirmation. Your breakthrough has been activated. Your release has been stamped. You're not watching this video by coincidence. You're watching it because heaven is announcing your wealth season. So don't just listen. Receive it. Let it soak into every dry place in your soul. Let it push out the fear, the worry, the doubt. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are right on time, standing at the edge of everything you've prayed for. And now, I need you to stay with me, because what's coming in the next part will open your eyes even wider. The divine blueprint for your wealth is more detailed than you think, and we're just getting started. Now that you've recognized you're marked, the question becomes, what do you do next? You can't go back to the old version of yourself. You can't return to environments that no longer reflect your destiny. You've been elevated spiritually, and elevation requires separation. Not everyone can go with you. Not everyone will understand what's happening in your life right now, and that's okay. Because divine wealth often comes after divine disconnection. Some people were only assigned to your past, not your future. Let them go. Stop trying to explain your vision to those who weren't given your revelation. You are not crazy. You're not being too much. You are simply stepping into alignment, and alignment demands adjustment. Divine wealth doesn't just show up in your bank account. It shows up in your relationships, your health, your mindset, your peace. It touches everything. And as you begin to walk in this anointing of divine abundance, you'll notice the atmosphere around you begin to change. Old desires will fall off. Old habits will break. Suddenly, you won't be able to tolerate chaos the way you used to. You won't be able to entertain gossip, small talk, or negativity. Your spirit will crave clarity, order, vision, and power. Because wealth is not just about receiving, it's about becoming. God is not just handing you riches, He's making you into a person who can carry them without being crushed by them. He's preparing you to be a distribution center of blessing. Not just a receiver, but a releaser. You're being positioned to bless others in a way that reflects heaven on earth. Your life is becoming a message. Your journey is becoming a testimony. People will begin to look at you and wonder how you got where you are. They'll say it happened out of nowhere, but you'll know it wasn't sudden, it was sacred. It wasn't luck, it was legacy. You'll remember the tears, the silent battles, the nights you almost gave up, and you'll know this divine wealth came with a price, but it was worth every bit of pain it took to get here. Your character was forged in fire. That's why you won't fold when the blessing comes. You won't become arrogant. You won't misuse it, because you know how it feels to have nothing. You know how it feels to be overlooked. That's why when you rise, you'll raise others too. You'll reach back, open doors, speak life, and shift atmospheres. Because you understand, this wealth was never just for you. It's through you, for your family, for your lineage, for the ones who never had a voice. This is the wealth that breaks generational curses. This is the abundance that rewires DNA. When divine wealth hits your life, it alters the course of history. Your children will know peace. Your name will carry weight. Not just financial wealth, but spiritual inheritance, kingdom dominion, and divine authority. But here's what you must do next. Protect your mind. Protect your focus. Because distraction is the enemy's last resort. He couldn't stop the release, so now he'll try to delay your response. He'll try to make you second-guess what you're hearing right now. He'll whisper lies to make you believe this is too good to be true. But let me tell you, this is not fantasy. This is fulfillment. You have to hold on to what you heard in the spirit, even if your circumstances haven't caught up yet. Faith doesn't wait for confirmation in the physical. Faith creates the confirmation. You have to walk like it's already done. You have to pray like it's already arrived. You have to sow, speak, and move like the wealth has already been released, because it has. The transaction happened in heaven. You're just waiting for the manifestation in the natural. But don't mistake waiting for weakness. This kind of waiting is active. It's intentional. It's spiritual. It's the kind of waiting that builds momentum. You're not sitting still. You're being prepared. Every day, something is shifting in your favor. Every moment, something is working behind the scenes. The heavens are aligning people, strategies, resources, connections, all for you. That's why you can't afford to quit now. You've come too far. You've survived too much. You're right at the edge, and the enemy knows it. That's why the pressure has increased. That's why the warfare feels heavier. It's because your breakthrough is closer than it's ever been. This wealth is not just for comfort, it's for calling. It's coming with purpose attached. You're going to fund visions. You're going to birth movements. You're going to impact lives in ways you never imagined. This is bigger than bills. This is bigger than cars and clothes. This is about kingdom. This is about your legacy echoing long after you're gone. So stand up in your authority. Begin to speak with boldness. Stop asking for crumbs when God has prepared a feast. You were born for such a time as this. You were marked, sealed, appointed. The kingdom of heaven has placed a mandate on your life to prosper, not just financially, but in wisdom, influence, and purpose. You will lack no good thing. You will overflow in every area of your life. This is your time. And in the next part, I'm going to show you how divine wealth begins to manifest in your daily life. Not just through miracles, but through mindset shifts, strategic moves, and prophetic alignment. You're not just waiting for wealth, you're walking into it, step by step, and it starts now. You've stepped into the shift, and now things will start to feel different. Time will feel like it's moving faster. People around you will either draw closer in admiration or begin to distance themselves without explanation. That's not a coincidence. When divine wealth begins to manifest in your life, it disrupts every environment that can't hold what's about to be released. Pay attention to the uneasiness, the sudden exits, the uncomfortable moments. Those are signs. They're indicators that you're elevating. Don't mourn the loss of what God is pruning. He's not subtracting to punish you. He's subtracting to multiply you. You're about to gain so much more than what you're losing. You're shedding the old so you can carry the gold. Now, divine wealth will begin to show up in your daily life in three powerful ways. First, through clarity. Suddenly, things that were confusing before will start to make sense. You'll wake up with vision. You'll know what to say, where to go, what to avoid. Confusion breaks when purpose enters, and when you're marked for divine wealth, you don't wander, you walk with direction. Second, you'll experience favor that doesn't match your qualifications. People will choose you, honor you, elevate you, and they won't even fully know why. It's not about your resume, it's about your anointing. Your spirit will speak before your voice does. Doors will open that you didn't knock on. Blessings will find you before you finish praying for them. Third, your mind will begin to reject limitation. You'll no longer be able to entertain scarcity thinking. You'll begin to crave growth. You'll want to learn, expand, connect with people who sharpen you, not just comfort you. You'll feel allergic to stagnation. That's how you know divine wealth has begun. It shifts your appetite. You don't just want survival. You crave significance. But here's where it gets real. As your internal world expands, the enemy will try to throw shadows. Old thoughts, old triggers, even old versions of you will rise up to test your new identity. He wants to see if you'll shrink, if you'll play small, if you'll walk away from the promise because the pressure feels unfamiliar. But you didn't come this far to go back. You didn't endure all of that to collapse right before your coronation. You've already been crowned in the spirit. You are royalty. That is your identity now. And royalty doesn't beg. Royalty doesn't chase. Royalty doesn't explain itself to people committed to misunderstanding it. You walk with peace, with dignity, with the silent authority of someone who knows that all of heaven backs every step they take. And here's something powerful. Your obedience is the key to unlocking more. As God begins to prompt you, go here, speak this, give that, sow into this person, your response determines your access. Obedience is your currency in this season. It's how you accelerate. Because when you move with God's voice, you skip levels. You step into divine timing. You begin to experience what others call miracles as a normal part of your life. Some of you will be called to walk away from comfort, from jobs that pay well but starve your soul, from people who clap for your silence but criticize your growth, from habits that feel good but kill your potential. That's the price of divine wealth. It doesn't cost you your peace, but it will cost you your pride. It will cost your old identity. But what you gain is worth far more than what you release. You're going to start to see strange favor, people offering you help without asking, random ideas dropping into your mind that lead to breakthrough, doors opening without explanation. It'll feel like a dream, but it's real, and it's yours. And don't ignore the whispers. That subtle inner voice telling you to act, to move, to step out in faith. It's not your imagination. That's divine instruction. Your provision is often hidden on the other side of obedience. It won't always make sense. It won't always feel comfortable. But if it stretches you, it's likely shaping you for something bigger. This is the season where your actions must match your prayers. You've asked for more. Now start acting like it. Start speaking like you're wealthy. Start walking like you're chosen. Stop waiting for external proof and start living with internal certainty. Wealth begins in the spirit before it manifests in the world. You're not crazy for dreaming big. You're not arrogant for wanting overflow. You're just finally remembering who you really are. You're returning to your divine identity. The enemy worked overtime to convince you that lack was your portion, but heaven is overriding that lie right now. Your portion is abundance. Your inheritance is divine. Your season is now. And listen closely. This is important. You don't have to force anything. Divine wealth flows. It doesn't hustle, stress, or beg. You don't chase what belongs to you. You attract it by becoming the version of yourself that was always meant to carry it. So rest, not in laziness, but in confidence. Rest in the knowing that it's already been written. You are rising, and it's visible. Your light is getting brighter. Your energy is changing. People can sense it. Some will be drawn to it. Others will resist it. But don't dim it. Don't apologize for it. Let it shine. Because your life is not just about you. It's about those watching you, waiting to believe that if it happened for you, maybe it can happen for them too. The next part of your journey is going to be the most tangible yet. You'll begin to see results. Physical, financial, emotional, relational results. But you must stay grounded. Stay locked in. Stay aligned with the voice of God. Because the momentum is building and the next shift is going to happen fast. And in the next section, we're diving into how you become a magnet for divine resources. How to walk in a way that attracts wealth consistently and keeps it flowing. You're not just stepping into a blessing. You're becoming the blessing itself. You're becoming the blessing now. You're not just praying for breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. You're not just chasing abundance. You're radiating it. Divine wealth doesn't just flow to you. It flows through you. You're being positioned as a conduit, a vessel, a river, not a reservoir. What comes into your life will multiply, not stop. It will expand, not sit still, because what you carry cannot be contained. This is where the world begins to notice the shift, the glow on you, the peace that doesn't make sense, the confidence that isn't cocky, the way you walk into rooms and everything just seems to align. That's not just personal growth, it's divine confirmation. You're in sync with heaven now. You're no longer reacting to life. You're creating it, leading it, shaping it with spiritual precision. When you're marked for divine wealth, the laws of the natural world start to bend around your purpose. Time stretches, resources stretch. You begin to operate under divine efficiency. You do less, but produce more. You speak once, and doors open. You plant one seed, and the harvest is multiplied. That's what happens when you're in alignment with the God who owns it all. But let me tell you something important. Wealth isn't a reward for perfection. It's a result of alignment. You don't have to be flawless to be favored. You just have to be available, obedient, willing to unlearn what the world told you, willing to believe again, willing to take bold steps when logic says, stay still. That's what separates the chosen from the common. You're no longer waiting for a handout. You're walking in your authority. You're no longer asking for crumbs. You're sitting at the table that was built with your name carved into it from the beginning of time. You're done living like a visitor in your own blessing. You're home now. This is your realm. This is your season. This is your reality. And with this reality comes responsibility. Because when wealth begins to flow, your decisions matter even more. What you speak begins to shape outcomes. What you invest in begins to multiply. What you focus on expands. So be wise. Be intentional. Every thought, every word, every habit is either feeding your future or starving it. There is no neutral. There is no pause. You're either building or breaking. And now you must ask yourself, am I making space for what I've prayed for? Am I living like someone who expects miracles, or like someone still trapped in fear? Because divine wealth cannot dwell in a heart filled with doubt. It can't settle in chaos. It needs room. It needs structure. It needs faith that's active and alive. This is the season to clean house. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally. To make space. To stretch your capacity. You've asked for the blessing. Now prepare for it like it's already on the way. Because it is. And when it shows up, it's going to need a version of you that's ready to steward it, not sabotage it. That means discipline, not as punishment, but as protection. Because divine wealth is not just about what comes in. It's about what stays, what grows, what gets passed down. And God is not just blessing you for the sake of your enjoyment. He's blessing you because He can trust you to build something eternal with it. Get ready for divine partnerships. Unexpected alliances, people sent by heaven to multiply what you're carrying. You're not meant to do this alone. You're being divinely connected to those who recognize your value, who speak your language, who carry keys to doors you didn't even know existed. When you meet them, you'll know. Your spirit will confirm it. And you must also be bold enough to walk away from anything that drains you. Divine wealth does not flow where there's constant leakage. If the conversation always costs you peace, if the relationship always steals your clarity, if the environment always dulls your fire, it's not your assignment. It's a distraction. And you can't afford distractions in this season. Everything now must serve your purpose or it must exit your life. It's not personal. It's prophetic. Your time is sacred. Your energy is currency. And your focus is the gatekeeper to your future. You are not being harsh. You're being holy. You are protecting the promise on your life, and heaven will honor your boundaries. You'll start to feel the pull to create, to launch, to build. That's not ambition. That's divine instruction. You're being given blueprints from heaven, strategies, visions, downloads. Don't ignore them. Don't second guess. Start writing them down. Start taking steps. Don't wait until it makes perfect sense. Move when it makes divine sense. Because your wealth is not just in money. It's in your mind, your ideas, your words, your voice. Some of you will unlock millions by speaking. Others by writing, teaching, leading, creating. The channel may look different, but the source is the same. Heaven, God, the limitless one who's chosen you to reveal His abundance on earth. And here's what's next. You're about to become a magnet for opportunities. Not because you're chasing them, but because you're radiating purpose. People will start to reach out. Ideas will start to flow. You'll feel momentum without effort. That's confirmation. That's divine current. You're in the flow now. Don't look back. Don't downplay it. Don't apologize for the light on your life. You've been through too much to pretend you're ordinary. You were marked the moment you were formed. And now everything that tried to break you will witness your breakthrough. Everything that tried to bury you will watch you bloom. And this is just the beginning. Because in the next part, we're going into how wealth becomes generational, how your obedience now sets up your children, your children's children, and the legacy that will never be erased. This is about more than just you. You're building something eternal. You weren't chosen just to be rich. You were chosen to shift the lineage. You were called to break the cycles, to interrupt the curses, to flip the script on everything your bloodline thought was normal. Struggle stops with you. Scarcity stops with you. Fear stops with you. Because your obedience today becomes someone else's freedom tomorrow. This is bigger than income. This is about impact. You're creating a future where your children don't have to recover from what you lacked. They'll be launched by what you built. You're building a foundation they can rise from, not rubble they have to dig through. That's legacy. And it starts right now. Every step you take in alignment adds weight to your inheritance. You're not just stacking wealth. You're stacking wisdom. You're not just collecting assets. You're building authority. You're not just becoming successful. You're becoming a reference point, a blueprint, a story someone else will point to and say, if God did it for them, He can do it for me. But let's be clear, legacy requires vision. You can't build what you don't see. That's why God is enlarging your imagination, expanding your capacity, giving you ideas that seem too big for you. They're not too big. They're just from a higher realm. He's not calling you to do it alone. He's calling you to partner with heaven. This is the time to write the vision. Make it plain. Speak it out loud. Every day. Declare it until your reality catches up with your revelation. Your voice is shaping what your eyes will eventually see. Life and death are in the power of your tongue, and divine wealth responds to divine speech. So speak it with authority, with certainty, as if it's already done, because in the spirit it is. You're not waiting for permission anymore. You're not hoping someone discovers you. God has already marked you. What's yours is coming on schedule. You don't need every person. You need the right person. You don't need every platform. You need the appointed moment. Divine timing is the protection plan over your purpose. And sometimes, divine timing feels like delay. But it's not. It's preparation. God will hold back the release until your foundation can carry it. He's not slow. He's strategic. He's not punishing you. He's positioning you. Because what's coming isn't small. It's not momentary. It's not just for a season. It's generational. And the weight of it requires depth. That's why some doors had to stay closed. Why certain people had to walk away. Why it felt lonely for a while. Because destiny requires pruning. It requires solitude. It requires silence. But in that silence, your roots grew deeper, your ears got sharper, your spirit got stronger. And now you're ready. You'll begin to see the evidence. Divine wealth leaves trails, unexpected deposits, surprising yeses, contracts that find you, favor that covers you. But don't just look at the material, watch the spiritual. Peace that doesn't break under pressure. Joy that has no reason. Faith that keeps growing. Those are signs that heaven has started the transfer. And make no mistake, there is a transfer happening. From the hands of the wicked to the hands of the righteous. From systems built on greed to systems built on purpose. From temporary gain to eternal impact. You are part of that transfer. You are not just a receiver. You are a reformer. You are not just being blessed. You're being trusted. So ask yourself, what will I do with this wealth? Not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, relationally. How will I multiply what I've been given? Because true wealth multiplies. True wealth empowers. True wealth creates more givers, more builders, more change makers. You're going to start feeling the urge to teach what you've learned. That's not pride. That's purpose. God doesn't bless you so you can hoard the wisdom. He blesses you so you can pour it out. Your story is someone else's survival guide. Your breakthrough is someone else's blueprint. Your voice is a key in someone else's locked room. This is where the legacy begins, not when you reach a certain dollar amount, but when you start using your blessings to elevate others. When your wealth becomes a tool, not just a trophy. When your name carries weight, not just for what you have, but for what you give. You're becoming a distribution center of divine wealth, a kingdom financier, a solution carrier. And remember this, divine wealth doesn't come with sorrow. It doesn't rob your sleep. It doesn't drain your soul. It flows with peace. It expands with rest. It's not about burnout. It's about overflow. You don't have to die to be fruitful. You just have to stay aligned. That alignment will require adjustments. You'll have to tweak your habits, raise your standards, let go of people who don't grow, ignore opinions that don't build. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Your energy is part of your calling. Your mood, your thoughts, your focus. These are spiritual currencies. Treat them like treasure. You're being positioned to carry wealth that will influence cities, industries, families, generations. And what starts with you will not end with you. You're the seed and the sower, the proof and the promise, the prophecy and the plan. You are becoming what you once only dreamed of. And that dream you had, the one that felt too wild, too big, too impossible, it's real. It was a preview, not a fantasy. And now, every step of obedience is bringing it closer. Every yes to God is a brick laid in the path to that promise. You don't have to force it. You just have to follow. Because the wealth that's coming doesn't just elevate your life, it elevates your legacy. And in the next section, we'll uncover how you sustain it, how you protect it, and how you grow it without ever slipping back into lack. This next part will be your divine wealth maintenance plan. Now that the wealth has been activated, how do you keep it flowing? Because the enemy doesn't mind you getting a blessing. What he fears is you keeping it. What he dreads is you mastering it, sustaining it, growing it, turning it into systems. That's when it becomes dangerous to darkness. Here's the truth. Divine wealth doesn't just need faith. It needs structure, strategy, discipline. It needs you to think long-term, not just quick gain. Because wealth without wisdom becomes a trap. But when wisdom is paired with anointing, there is no ceiling to what can be created. This is your moment to become a steward, not just a receiver. God is not looking for people who chase money. He's looking for those who can manage glory. Those who understand that money is a tool, never the master. You are never owned by the blessing. You are entrusted with it. So protect your mindset. Never return to a survival mentality. Never think small to make others feel comfortable. Never lower your frequency to match old environments. You didn't come this far just to shrink again. You are expanding for a reason. Stay stretched. Stay elevated. Protect your time like it's sacred real estate. Don't spend hours on things that don't build you, feed you, grow you, or align with your calling. Divine wealth thrives in environments of order. So set boundaries, not just with people, but with distractions, with procrastination, with fear. Fear is expensive. Doubt will bankrupt your purpose. Protect your peace. It's your profit. You'll feel the temptation to go back, to play small, to reattach to places you outgrew. Don't. You're not being arrogant. You're being assigned. Don't apologize for the new version of you, the healed you, the focused you, the wealthy you. You are still humble, but you are no longer hidden. And as the wealth grows, so must your vision. Ask yourself often, what am I building? What legacy am I shaping? What impact will echo beyond me? This isn't just about living better. It's about leaving better. Better structures, better systems, better opportunities for the next to rise faster than you did. Divine wealth is strategic. It's not just more money. It's more clarity, more discernment, more understanding of how heaven moves. You start recognizing doors before they open. You sense timing in your spirit. You know when to act and when to wait. And that's what multiplies what you carry. You'll also start feeling a new level of generosity, not from obligation, but from overflow. You'll give like a river, not a reservoir. You'll invest into people, into movements, into ideas that carry eternal impact. You won't ask, "How much can I give without losing?" You'll ask, "How much can I plant so it multiplies forever?" Because your giving is no longer emotional. It's spiritual, targeted, anointed, strategic. You give where God is, where His hand is moving, where your seed can unlock more than finances, where it opens destinies. At this level, prayer becomes your management system. You no longer pray just for breakthroughs. You pray for insight, direction, protection. You ask heaven, "Where should this go? What do you want built? What's next?" Because divine wealth flows at the speed of obedience. That means your relationship with God deepens. You're not just asking for blessings. You're seeking His blueprint, and He begins to trust you more. Why? Because you've proven faithful. Because you've shown maturity. You've become someone who can handle both oil and overflow. But never forget, this isn't just about money. It's about divine empowerment. You've been activated as a solution, and every solution requires protection. That's why some people can't go with you. That's why some circles have to shrink. You can't be public property when you carry private instructions from heaven. Don't be afraid to walk alone. Eagles don't fly in packs. They soar. And when you're soaring with God, you'll see things others can't even imagine. You'll hear ideas that change generations. You'll unlock doors no man can shut. That's the level you've entered now. And now you start thinking legacy infrastructure. How do I sustain this when I'm gone? How do I set up systems that work while I sleep? Businesses, brands, ministries, organizations. You're not building hype. You're building havens, safe places for others to rise, to dream, to win. Your name will become a key, a reference point, a brand heaven uses to bless others. People will speak your name in rooms you've never entered. They'll quote your words in places you've never stood. Because you're not building just a business. You're building a divine signature in history. And yes, there will be opposition. But don't flinch. The attacks are confirmation. Resistance always shows up right before release. And the greater your impact, the greater the attack. But what's on you is stronger than what's against you. Heaven has already guaranteed the victory. So keep moving, keep building, keep believing. Don't let fear speak louder than faith. Don't let delays convince you to settle. Don't let comfort stop your calling. You were marked for more, and more is now being delivered. In the next part, we'll break into the final level, what it looks like when divine wealth becomes a movement. When it stops being about one person and starts creating communities, nations, and eternal legacy. This is when it goes from personal to prophetic. It's no longer just about what you've received. It's about what you release. You've been marked for divine wealth, not to be the final stop, but to be the river, the outflow, the spark of something far bigger. You're not the destination. You're the delivery system. And through you, God is starting something that won't end. You see, divine wealth doesn't die with the vessel. It multiplies through generations, through systems, through legacy carriers. The impact of what you build now will ripple far beyond your name, your time, your face. It will stretch across nations, break boundaries, shift atmospheres. And that's exactly why God trusted you. You were never chosen to blend in. You were chosen to blaze trails. You were picked not for popularity, but for purpose. Not for perfection, but for obedience. You didn't fit the mold because you were born to break it. And now, what once seemed like a delay was just divine design setting you apart to lead. You'll start noticing people drawn to your voice, not because of how loud it is, but because of the authority it carries. You'll see doors open because of your integrity, not your influence. And your wealth? It will fund freedom. It will power vision. It will heal lands, because money in the hands of the chosen becomes a weapon for good. This is more than prosperity. It's prophecy. You are fulfilling something that was spoken long before you ever breathed. What your ancestors prayed for, you're walking in. What they fought for, you're building on. You are the answered prayer and the released promise. That's why it's bigger than you. The final transformation isn't about your bank account. It's about becoming a movement. You are the spark that lights up a generation. You're the blueprint that others will follow. Not because you had all the answers, but because you stayed faithful even in the dark. You kept showing up, kept building, kept believing. And now, it's your time to lead others in. You will create hubs of wealth, creativity, and kingdom strategy. You'll mentor minds, equip leaders, raise visionaries. This wealth is not just for survival, it's for revival. Every dollar you steward will carry divine direction. Every connection will carry kingdom alignment. Every platform will become a pulpit, even if there's no microphone. God is building cities through you, not just physical, but spiritual. Safe places where others can dream again, rise again, heal again, prosper again. You'll shift culture, not chase it. You'll influence policy, not just participate in it. You'll become a builder of future blueprints, and the world will know something divine rests on you. You are rising not just to be seen, but to see clearer, to see potential in others, to see the cracks in systems and rebuild them, to see pain in people and restore it. You carry divine sight, and because of that, you will walk into rooms where others only hope to be invited. Not because of who you know, but because of what you carry. And through it all, your humility will protect you. Your posture of surrender will guard the wealth, because you know it was never about you. It was always about what God could do through you. That's why the oil keeps flowing. That's why the favor keeps finding you. That's why doors open without you having to knock. You're in divine sync. You are the one He chose to disrupt the cycle, to rewrite the outcome, to elevate what was broken and call it beautiful, to take poverty and turn it into purpose, to take rejection and turn it into redirection. You're not just wealthy, you are wise, and your wisdom will guide nations. This divine wealth has a rhythm now. It flows like breath. It expands like waves. It moves without striving, because it's not sustained by hustle, it's sustained by heaven. You don't chase it, you become it. You are wealth. You are legacy. You are impact. Not in theory, but in evidence, in fruit, in fire, in faith. And now, everything changes. You won't return to the old. You won't explain your elevation. You won't water down your calling. You'll walk like one who's been marked by glory. You'll speak like one who's been given keys. You'll live like one who knows, this is divine. This is destiny. This is deliverance. You are no longer waiting. You are walking in it. The gates have opened. The blessing is flowing. The wealth has been released. And from this moment on, every step you take is under divine direction. Every connection is kingdom ordained.